board. Well, we're having to go for some tope this morning on a solo on a fairly difficult mark to get down to. First bait up, pulley rig, strong wire, bring that a bit closer to your full body section of a mackerel. That's on one rod, 8 ounce lead. Other rod, that's the Ron Thompson accelerator, the first one with the Pen Battle 3. Other rod, we've got a 10 Okie circle dongle style. It's a short dongle. Stay disciplined with a small bait because sometimes that can be crucial for tope. I don't like long baits on dongles. 200 pound mono, doubled over down to the hook with a crimp, 7 ounce lead on the Grazer iron, Akuma 8K. So we're going to get these cast out, then we'll have a bit of a chat, and hopefully we'll catch some fish. Come on. That's them. Grazer iron up left, Ron Thompson up right. One 45 degrees that way, one 45 degrees that way. Keep the lines apart. Rain's just arrived, which I was just saying to my mate Paul, there's no rain forecast for here this morning. We missed it. Typical. So we'll see what happens. Got 27 pound Tronics Pro Xeon mono mainline. So just a 77 pound Fladden shock leader. It's quite supple, that one, and cheap as well. Knots really well. So we'll just see what happens. First catch, not what we came for. Big one as well. Absolutely monster spider crab. It's a nice one, that like. Really big. But we'll put him back because, I mean, they're nice to eat, I believe. I've never ate one. What really impresses me when you think of a tarantula, you look at the end of their claws, they've got black tips. I think that's where they get the name as being a spider crab, to be honest. Really are. Look, it's not what I came for at all, but they're a nice specimen, if you like, of a crab. We'll get him put back anyway. Guys, I'll give you a tip for free now. Now, obviously, for tope fishing, you want to be using 100 pound mono plus. Alright, you're buying the cheap coated grey wire, yeah? And I've been finding that it's barely getting through a session. So I bought some Coxon roll. I think it's just rig wire or something like that. It's like very similar to the FW, uncoated. It's the brown stuff. This is 275. I thought I bought 175, but I wanted a strong wire because I'm sick of the other stuff kinking up. Now that's just, this rig has just had a spider crab on it. This is 275, but it's stayed straight and it is heavy. But when you getting played with, when you put these baits out, just make sure I put this rod in real in front. When you're putting big baits out, mackerel baits, you're going to get played by dogfish, crabs. It's just stuff that chews and nips if it's a crab. That has come back as it went out. It's got 2 O'Shaughnessy's on it, this rig. A 6.0 O'Shaughnessy on the bottom, mustard O'Shaughnessy, and a 7.0 on the back. And I've filed the barbs down, I've filed the points up with a chainsaw file. And they're as sharp as any up them, but they're stronger. Like I always say, it's my favourite thing to say about O'Shaughnessy's is they're stronger than a lot of hooks, other than your circles probably. And realistically, having lost another fish on one of these so-called specimen hooks, and it's I'm not going to tell you what brand they are. There's quite a good line in. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what brand they are, but basically, you know, they're the coated, aren't they? The coated black ones. You know, there's so many. There's a particular brand that's branded by about 3 or 4 tackle companies. There's different names, and they're just not They ain't tope hooks, I can tell you that now. Despite being advertised as that. They're certainly not tope hooks if you don't have a net and you're fishing at height. If they're bending out in mollusk, they're not. So I've had 20 pound conger on him, but there was a 6.0 O'Shaughnessy on the bottom of that panel. It may have been held on by that. Yeah, so we're going with double O'Shaughnessy's on the panels. If we're using a single hook, we're just making it into a dongle, whether it's with an 8.0, 7.0 O'Shaughnessy or a 10.0 Kyoki circle. I think that's just what we're going to stick with from now on. The Huss I had the other day was on this rig. I keep going about that Huss, Wayne, if you're watching this video. And it was hooked lovely on the 7.0 back hook on the panel, so these are the type of rigs we're going to use. The cheaper, you get what you pay for, don't you, in life, generally. Even though, to be fair, O'Shaughnessy hooks, you get 25 in a box for a similar price to the black coated ones. I just don't like picking a hook up, and if you can feel the springing with your finger, if it's spring, feel a bit of giving it with your fingers. It's all right. You'll probably get away with it for some species. As you saw the rant I had in one of my previous videos when I was targeting tope, when I lost the Huss due to one bending out. Just don't put yourself through the same pain, guys. Basically, that'd be my top tip of the day: is stronger wire, pay a bit more for your wire. Got a bite on the right hand rod, I believe. So I'm just about to change the bait on that, so we'll stay on camera to reel that in, I think. Yeah, pay a bit more for your wire. Sharpen your hooks up if they need it. Don't be scared, get them in a vise. Get that chainsaw file or just any file on it. Hone them up, sharpen them up. If you're making rigs, make it into an art for yourself. Yeah, we have got a bite on the left-hand rod, sorry, we've got a bite. It did give a bite as soon as it hit the bottom, but we'll see if there's something on it. You'll stay on camera for that. I'll just bait this. There's no roof, we've got a 10.0 circle on that, so it's not going to be wolfed down it. So that's our bait. It's a small bait again. We are going to take the dongle off the grazer iron just because we've got 3 rigs out. We've got 2 panels, pedal on one, dongle on one at the moment. I'm going to reel the grazer iron and put this on it because that's what I just baited up basically. So I've had a little bite on it. We'll video the bite. I'll just move the camera. I've had a little bite on it. It's probably just a dogfish. It feels like a dogfish coming in straight away. It's only something small. Doing well if it's hooked on that 10.0 circle, right? The bait come off on the way in. Going quite easy, it might not be even off. Yeah, there's nothing on it. But with that one, I did have a body section of mackerel. I mean, they sometimes do hook up on the 10.0 circles of dogfish, but not very often. So we don't really want dogfish anyway. But that was it was a section of mackerel, like a small body section, about an inch long. So I haven't actually got a clip on this one, which we could do with, to be honest. We'll sort that out on the next bait up now. While we're on camera, we'll just snip it off and tie a new rig on. So obviously just use a clip for doing this rather than tying the rig on. It's still quicker than having your rod out of action while you bait a rig up. It's still on and off, isn't it? But it's quicker tying this knot than it is wrapping a bait up to a rig. Figure of 8 knot, straight down. Tag end. I don't want to see on people's YouTube channels, you won't see it on mine. Tag end, snip it off, in your pocket. Look, it don't make much, it probably would wear down quickly. But that isn't the point, is it? It's just sloppiness. Leave it as you find it. just whip this 8-ounce lead off because you don't want to be casting an 8-ounce lead with a rod that's rated to 6 really. It'd probably cast it, but you want to be using the tip of that rod to our advantage, i.e. getting it out as far as possible. Just bend them wires back if they're a bit battered. And we'll flick this out now. Flip it down. We've got a small tail section. Caught Tope on that, caught Huss on that. Not a problem. Flip it down into the splashdown. Make sure the rig's not tangled. Yeah, the rig's fine. Onto the casting panel. We're going to try and give it a bit, but we're struggling because of where we're fishing. Like we've got, it's got a bit that like. Lovely soft tip on this rod. For just a simple overhead cast that I do, I'd give it a bit of a swing. I'm no casting expert, but let's not make it into, you know, an ego thing. Catch as many fish as anyone. That's what it's all about. It's deep water up here. We don't need to be swinging one, do we? If we can't do it, we're not comfortable doing it. I can give it a bit, you know. I can get it out there a little bit. When you've not got much room behind us, when we move back a little bit, we'll be on a raised platform, so we'll probably be able to fire it a bit further. For now, it'll do. Just looking at that light, I had a bit of interest last time when it hit the bottom. I think there's either some spider crabs or a few doggies about. I think. While there's no hardly any tide movement, crabs and dogfish are happy just munching your baits, aren't they? Hopefully, as it comes in, so we're fishing it. I should just say that we're fishing it from the bottom. We fished it from the bottom of the tide, which was about 6 o'clock. I think highs around 11ish. So 5 hours to come in. That done. I think it might have been half 6. Well, I looked at basically for the low tide. I was looking on BBC, and for the high tide, I looked in my tide book. So we know low tide was 5:30, 6 o'clock, and high it's about 11, half 11 sort of thing. So yeah, but it is strange. Approximately just over 5 hours to come in. It's usually a little bit more than that. So yeah, we're comfortable. Let's see what happens. So while we're not doing it, we'll probably rebait that. But what we'll do is another one. We'll just nick the head in. Just hook it through once, through the bottom jaw and out through the nose. Then we'll just leave that like that. Then when we're winding and we're ready, we'll snip that off. Whip it on, then snip it off just as we're about to clip it on. Just to keep that blood in. Struggling a bit with filming. I keep going out of shot, don't I, on my head? But hey ho. So we'll see what happens. Got a bit as the sea's coming in. We're on there. Onto here. I don't think we'll have to move back again, to be honest. So we've got a couple of rigs there. Free bait. Not much is happening at the moment. Right, the next two baits are going to be mackerel fillet. Rigs, trying to pick a fish up now. Slightly smaller baits, plenty of blood in the fillets. I know Tope have been caught on fillets before, Huss have been caught on fillets. Just trying something different, just to try and get something really. I'd predict that you get a dogfish on both them on the bottom ones, but we'll see. We've got about 10 or 15 minutes on the base. I've currently gone out, it's not coming out. It's a slow session so far, disappointing really, but we're in it to win it. Let's get the first decent bite of the session. Still on. It might be a dogfish, it might be a Huss, we'll see. We will see. I should be able to tell actually. It's the first time I rode through Tope. The first bite was a really good pull down. I'd say it's a Huss. It's going to go down here a little bit. Yeah, I'd say it's a Huss, definitely. It feels like a Huss. Yeah, it's on. Hopefully get some decent footage. Sat there minding my own business. Finally, something happened. Got it. It's a nice one actually. We'll give her a little way. I don't know how much of that you saw. Probably not a lot, but there you go. She's here. Nice one. Let's give her a bit of water in the rock pool. No point in stressing her out too much. That's not a bad one. I'll have a picture with her. We'll put her back. I've got a seal here. He actually followed the Huss in. He followed the Huss in. He made me jump actually. Right guys, this is the first bait up with that fillet. You know when I showed you the fillet baits? It's a male dogfish. They're coming soon in the rig. Wasn't even hooked. I thought that might be the case. It's definitely a dogfish. I thought that'd be the case like I predicted. But we caught the Huss on the last bait up before them fillets went out. So we're just going to put two half mackerel on one and like a short tail section on the other. That's the dongle, that'll be a dongle, pendulum dongle now. So yeah, fire that out. But another fish, at least we're getting, at least it's fish feeding. We've had two dogfish and also a spider crab. Not the end of the world. Let's keep going, see if we can get something better. Yeah, so it's not been a terrible session. Obviously we are trying for an early tope still. I'll show you what I mean. That rig is made with slightly cheaper wire. It does kink up. You know, that's had a dogfish on it. In fact, it might have had a couple of dogfish on it. This is actually a boat rig. Well, I didn't buy it, Wayne gave it me, but whoever makes these, they're absolutely the real craftsmen from what I can see. You know, really well made. Fair play, like, but obviously with the cheapest grade of wire that still does the job. A few dogfish and spider crab attacks. It does kink up, but it's fine. You can still catch fish on it. You know, it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. I tend to find myself then using new rigs every session. With that rig I showed you earlier, the one that I had tied with a more expensive, thicker wire, I tend to find I don't need to do that. So that's just something to bear in mind. Both rigs will still do the job, and they're someone's hand-tied rigs that sorry, I keep the lighting's really poor. They're someone's hand-tied rigs. So whoever makes them is a real craftsman. You can see the amount of detail that he's put in. They're straightforward enough, they're basic, but you can tell he knows exactly what he's doing. They're probably better made than some of the rigs I make, to be fair. So, I believe they're a decent price, them as well. Worth looking at. If anyone wants any info about them, I can get you the details to you. Just comment in the video or something. Just winding the session down. It's not been a bad little session. We haven't got a target, but caught a couple of fish. Never had a run off here. Never had a run. The biggest fish I've had is 11 pound 7 Huss off here. But never had a run. I'm casting further out into the tide than I've ever done. But never had a run, like I say. I've seen mackerel caught off here. The lighting's trapping it when I've never done. It's poor. Not that you want to see my one up. But yeah, never had a run off here, but there will be that first time when you do, and you've just got to keep trying. It's only the second time I've used fresh bait off here, so just got to keep trying. The Huss bite, you just give one of them, it hooked over, and I just hope that it just lurches, surges towards the sea at 100 miles an hour, and line starts coming off the reel. But it says, bends over and goes right over, that type of thing basically. But it didn't, it's a Huss. Really lost it to the seal. Really enjoyed the morning. I'm going to get out again. I think I'll probably get out in darkness to start with, on a deeper part. We'll just see what we can do, if we can do anything. I've lost one rig today, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's not been the best, it's not been the worst. I've had a bit disappointed with certain things. The fact is, this mark, I've had some cracking Huss sessions on it. And it hasn't lived up to the expectations for a while now for myself. I've had 5 out in a session before. I remember having 4 out when I lost loads. They were on it straight away, and I don't know why. They're not on it. What's happening? Why? What people down? So they can't be lost baits, obviously what they're feeding on, can't they? It is a bit disappointing from that aspect. I think we'll tackle one rod down when we do a bait change. We're going to fire one out on its own, and then Nick's going to meet me when I just get up off the cliff. So I think we're going to send him walk back to the cottage, but I don't think you really need to know that. So I think, guys, always bring something to eat. I've had a couple of them cold coffees now. I prefer to bring my stove and make fresh brews, but I haven't done that today because I didn't want to carry extra weight. But I've had a bit of chocolate, I've got some peanuts here. Bring a drink with you. It's always worth it, especially if you've got a cracked scramble back and bags. You don't realise how much it takes out of walking on rocks, up and down and casting out bait, being blown over by the wind. Yeah, it's just been bang average, hasn't it, for the channel, this one, guys. It really has. I think in the morning we'll take just one rod, because mark fishing's heavily bottom for lobster pots. So we'll take the stiffer rod, and we'll take a lure rod. Let's have a bit of fun and see if we can get hook into something decent. I've loved every second of it down here as always, just a little bit disappointed. We'll still feel happy as hell, so yeah. I'll do close down either when we get back up or if we get another fish on or whatever. So I'm going to do close down now actually, guys. This is a snood that's done 2 sessions. It's had 2 fish on. It's been getting fired out, hooks are still sharp, it's been getting fired out, baited up, baited up. There's a little bit of wear on it, just slightly. That is really good, isn't it? It's really good. What I've noticed as well, you can use a bit of flubby shine, then when you put that into the bottom of your bait, you can whip plastic round there, because that's like a big hook. It keeps the hook like that. So if you're twisting it down like that, try and push the, if you tried baiting up like that and try and push the hook round. I just found that out as well. So you can whip when you put like a big mackerel bait on, whip around that as well as obviously whipping down the shank around the curve in the hook, because that keeps it steady and it keeps it straight. Really good that. Sometimes I do use paper clips because this. Sometimes I put paper clip on the bottom of that one, but because it's such a thick gauge wire, in the room in the eye of the hook to get a paper clip. But it worked. It's only two Huss that rig's done now. Very good. So just winding it down. I think we'll leave it at that. I think. Coming up on the channel, we're going to be doing a bit of camping all around the UK. We've got further down the coast in North Wales. We'll do some beach fishing, I think, for Tope later next month. Then got I think I'm back here in July. And then end of July I've got a trip to Scotland targeting some skates. So yeah, busy next few weeks, and we're back here as well in August. I'll be popping through here that weekend where I can. So I'm going to get about a bit this year, like I say. I think in terms of videos, it's a standard for fishing squad in this one. Plus, start with the thought. Give it a go. Tope fishing on with one. You're not here, they're not here, either. You need to be here when they're coming past. I'm sure they'll come past here, 100% certain. But it's just about being here when they do. So, keep at it, go fishing part tomorrow. And we'll take it from there. Nice one. Cheers, guys. Catch you on the next one. Another session down. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're knocking on the door of 1,000 subscribers now. When we hit 1,000, I will do some form of giveaway. Only subscribe if you're genuinely interested in the channel. Thank you very much.
It's caught in the crossfire.